Okay, all right, okay. Nah, I got a pair of fumbles this week. Every time I get on my soapbox and yell about how unfair it is that Dwight Howard isn't in the NBA, he pops up on social media doing something abnormal, we'll call it. This time, Dwight let the whole world know that he and his partner, Amy, are so close that they share the same toothbrush. Listen, I'm not usually one to comment on people's personal lives, but this is just one of those things that I wish they would have kept to themselves. Dwight, just be normal, man. Okay? I just was asking for you to get back on the league with the Lakers. Just stop. Just chill out. And by the way, you are way too rich to not be using an electric toothbrush. That's crazy. Okay? My second fumble of the week is way more important than Dwight's oral hygiene. Last Sunday, especially considering how lopsided the game was, the halftime performance by Kendrick Lamar was the most important part of the day. Historically, halftime performances are about entertainment, but Kendrick Lamar used his moment to enlighten and put one last nail into that man's coffin, if you know who I'm referring to. But whether you like Kenny's music or not is really irrelevant. You have to be appreciative of a man who is hell-bent on restoring cultural balance. In a time where there is legitimately a campaign to stop teaching Black history and a repeal of efforts to give people of color a fair shot at gainful employment, Kendrick got up there and didn't placate to the sensitivity of whiteness. He offered a performance that was militant at its core, and to do that during the most viewed sporting event in the history of sporting events is about so much more than what songs he chose. You can criticize the art all you want to, but if your critique is a byproduct of a lack of comprehension, then maybe you should go read a book and learn something, rather than let the world know how limited your perspective is. Samaria, what were your thoughts on Kendrick's performance, and do you share toothbrushes with your fiance?
No, I do not share toothbrushes. Like, I don't even know why you sent me that. That ruined my whole evening. That video with him and Amy, or whatever her name is. And why Dwight Howard always got a wife? Like, he keeps a wife that he's been dating for all of like 3 days, and then they're married. Anyways, to Kendrick, I will say I was floored in a good way the entire performance. I was just like, oh my God, like, okay, he's doing this. Obviously, we just talked to Ice earlier in the episode, and I kind of agree with him. Maybe it could have been a little easier to digest, not changing the set list completely, but kind of adding in some of those more hit songs in between.
No, I want y'all to choke.
I'm saying I love the symbolism. He can keep all of that, but maybe like in some of the transitions, there could have been like just in between there. He could have just threw some or mixed, not just like straight militant, like you said. I mean, it was like you really had to sit there. And I think that he caught people's attention. We were all sitting there watching this. And like I said, I'm stunned. I'm like, okay, he's doing this. But I think it could have been a little bit easier to digest, which I know that's the whole premise of what you're saying.
Exactly. In these times especially, I want to make everybody uncomfortable. Because the guy who I just put the nail in the coffin of, he made y'all so comfortable with what blackness looks like.
Yeah.
He made y'all so comfortable with what artistry and this culture is supposed to be about. And I am the antithesis of that. I wanted to make y'all skin crawl a little bit. You like, oh my, are they starting to understand it? Are they starting to galvanize? This is the kind of man that like we need in culture to create, again, some kind of balance. I just appreciate it. And earlier you asked why Dwight Howard always has a wife. Well, considering what has been said about Dwight Howard and what people believe about Dwight Howard, I think that it's important for him perhaps to let people know that he loves women and,
So you don't feel like Dwight Howard keeping a wife is not similar to Shannon Sharpe going live?
No, that's a false equivalency, and you know that. Stop.
It
Dwight also likes women. Like his sexuality is consistently in question, and that might be a reason why he has not been in the league. There is some speculation that his sexual orientation is a reason that some teams haven't signed him yet, because it really doesn't make any sense outside of that, because he's still a physical specimen. Last year he was over in China putting up Wilt Chamberlain numbers, and Yeah, and that on the court, not off the court. So I just think that he's deserving of a spot in the league. And so you rock that beard, Dwight, if that's what you need to get back in the league. All right, beard up, my boy. Y'all let us know your thoughts on any of my fumbles of the week. So much to discuss in our comments section. I will be back and forth with you all if you give me a good comment this week. I promise. I do want to hear your thoughts on Kendrick as well as Dwight Howard.